So, MBTI and hand waving. I basically think that, so many people mentioning like the Barnum effect or its various other, well, I think it only has one other name, but, or so many things that basically just say everything is nothing, nothing's really related, there aren't any types, everyone's just the same, and it's like, really? How? You can't have, people valuing both social harmony and authenticity, like one has to be valued over the other, not the same. So, you know, at different times, different stress levels, yes, one is focused on more than the other. That's a change in stress type. That, of course, I just misspoke and said things out of order, so, if anyone were to, if I had enough viewers, I'm sure someone would say, oh, that's not entirely true. Yes, fine. It's like, you know, being group-minded for figuring out solutions versus being, kind of picky. That's T versus TI. Practical solutions goes with TE, and, just figuring out things as a matter of consistency with TI. And, brainstorming and selecting probabilities. NE versus NI, and living in the present versus living in the past, sort of. There's a lot of associations with each cognitive function, and they're scaled, preferred in different ways, and that's what various forms of socionics, list and stacks to decide order. And, maybe it should be the stacks pertain to like the least stress state mode or something like that, rather than like, it's not rigid. People vary in stress modes, they go into loops, they, between the first and third function, and introverted loop for extroverted types is the second and fourth, but it's like, it's not all the same. Everyone values things differently, so just saying, oh, everything is nothing is kind of pointless. Sure, people relate to things more or less, but it's not like, we all have the same functions, but we don't value them the same. It's just, in certain situations, stress levels or whatever, things are focused on more than others for a time, but it's like, just so much hand waving is annoying. It's like, oh yes, let's dismiss everything that everyone's thought of just because I don't care to put the time and effort in to understand it. Yeah, it should all be based on reality. There should be a way to measure, what things really are, how people really behave, and not just be axiomatic systems. And of course, things are done that way to an extent. The more I look into it, yeah, Dave's Superpowers actually does a fair bit of that, and that's a good thing. And axiomatic systems are good for things in general. Systems should have consistency. That is valuing TI there, and that, in its own way, is good. But yeah, it's, I don't know right now whether like Socionics, Model A, Model G, or C.S. Joseph's or anyone else's models fit best. The idea of Beebe or Beebe or Barron's, all those people. It's something that needs to be weighed, figure out how it's connected, what works, what doesn't, what fits, what doesn't, and that's, that's what should be done, rather than just say, oh, everything's nothing, let's just dump it all and say we're all ISTJs. It's like, oh, good grief, no. But, in effect, because that's pretty much the default type. Everyone, nation of workers, not thinkers, is how, rich jerks like Rockefeller want everything. So, yay, the fun. And, well, good thing is I don't have enough commenters to really be like, oh, you're wrong, everything is nothing. But, in effect, I'm sure they'd phrase it in ways that are like intellectual sounding more, so as to be like pointing out any little flaws rather than the theme. And yet, I do make misstatements, and I am just speaking stream of consciousness, so I'm prone to say things incorrectly. But, basically, no, everything's not nothing, and things are valued differently. So, even if I don't see exactly the way it all fits together yet, it still has something there, and it's just annoying when people just discount everything at face value.